What's going on, people? I'm waiting for a call here from a company. I just gave him a call. He did not answer. Anyway, hope you guys are good. Sunday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon in my area. And like I was saying, I'm waiting for a phone call from one of the a company that I reached out to, that I found on cbdriver.com. I reached out to a couple of them. I went on board. Well, I did 2 onboard applications. One was for a pharmaceutical company, which I'm gonna have my daughter do for me. She's looking for a new job. The pay is good enough. I can start that and make some money, because you know the money she's making right now is not paying the bills for her, as someone would say. But and then the other one, they prefer high top vans, which I don't have one currently, but I will be, if it's good, I will get me a small box trucks. I prefer a box truck versus a transit all day, every day. So it's just where we are now. But I was supposed to call that guy at 1 o'clock. I called him twice, so left him a voicemail. Let's see if he calls me back. He did text me late last night. So what they're looking for, I think they run 7 days a week. Prefer a high top van, like I said, but I will probably get, if it's good, I'll probably get a small box truck, like a 10-foot, 12-foot box truck, like a Ford Econoline box truck, because I'm not very, I don't really like the Ford Transit or the Ram ProMaster, due to the fact that they have so many issues. You know, the Ford Econoline box trucks, Ford Econoline in general, are tested, and I'm very familiar with those vans, and the best thing about those is that I can actually do my own maintenance. So that's why I'm gonna go with that. The job description was, like I said, 7 days a week. I think I'm very, because this warehouse is very, very close to IKEA, and I think it's IKEA. And for those of you who follow me from a while, know that I've done IKEA in the past, because IKEA is probably the only thing that goes 7 days a week. Pharmaceuticals don't really go on a cargo van. Pharmaceuticals don't really go 7 days a week. Sorry. IKEA goes out 7 days a week. Besides that, it could probably be a final thing, and if it's a final mile thing, I'm not interested. I don't like doing final mile, e-commerce, all that. Nah, I'm not. It's not my cup of tea. They make you do 60, 80 stops, and the pay is crap. Too much wear and tear. Just think about it. You're in your van and you're putting in park 80 times. You're stepping out 80 times. That's a lot of wear and tear. So that's why I prefer not to do e-commerce. Final mile, yeah, but not e-commerce. E-commerce is, for those of you that don't know what e-commerce is like Amazon, Walmart, those meal plans, anything it's retail. All that stuff is final mile. Like a lot of companies do final mile. Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, they all do final mile deliveries, and that's not my cup of tea. There is no money in that for me. That's just my experience with the final mile. But I've been seeing a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of, I'm saying, there's so many people out trying to get into this business. And I'm not telling you not to get into this business. I'm not trying to gatekeep anything. I've just been doing this for so long that I see so much misinformation. Like, I'm seeing like dealerships Come by the 22 Transit, get into the delivery business. Come by the van, I'll show you how to get started. Now, like, car salesmen are trying to get you to start a cargo van business just so they can make a sale on a van. Like, how like gullible are people nowadays that they gonna fall? A car salesman, a guy who sells cars, come by this van, I'm gonna tell you how to get started. I see a guy selling box trucks, he's giving you pallet jacks. Come by the box truck, leave here with a load, I'm gonna get you started. Like, you got car salesmen, you got truck salesmen trying to get you to buy a vehicle, and they're gonna get you started. Like, please, people, like, you gotta be a little bit open-minded. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff is just too good to be true. You know what I mean? Yes, they're gonna sell you the truck. Yes, they're gonna sell you the van, but are you gonna know what to do after the fact? Are you gonna know where to find the work after the fact? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to get into this business and over the road, don't do it, because it's gonna be short-lived. You're gonna get tired and you're gonna be back at square one. Like, I've been doing this since like 1997, 1998, right? And I have always done this, either be part-time or full-time. Full-time, I started doing it in 2006 because I had a really good job, and that job came to an end. But I did it part-time, and I always had someone going out for me since 1997. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to do over the road, it's gonna be short-lived because you're gonna get tired of it. You're gonna get tired of having to go on your phone and trying to find work. You're gonna get tired of you know, sleeping in the van in the heat, in the cold, breaking down in the middle of nowhere, paying yin-yang amounts of money. Because these vans, these new vans you guys get, those vans are not built, man. They trash. I'm in the dealerships every day. I see them up on the lift. I always talk to the mechanics. They just full of trash. But anyway, you're gonna get tired of being on the road. You're gonna be tired of sleeping in your van. You're gonna be tired of the cold days in your van. You're gonna be tired of being away from your family. And if you're a female, do not start this. Do not start this. If you're over the age and you got heart conditions, do not start this. You don't want the stress. You don't want the stress of having to find work, the stress of having to sleep in your van. Next thing you know, you have a heart attack, tachycardia in your van, and there you go. Your family's got no, where you at, they're gonna find you dead in the van. I'm not saying, I'm not wishing no one, but you're gonna get tired. If you go out on the road a year, you're gonna get tired and you're gonna be back to square one. You're gonna have a $40,000, $50,000 car note that you gotta pay, and you ain't got no work, and you're gonna have to, you know, give up the van because you can't even trade the van in because you put so many miles in it, it ain't worth anything. You're gonna have to really, you know, ruin your credit, give up the van, you know, give it back to the bank because you can't find your work and you're tired. You're tired. You're gonna be working and your kids' birthdays. You're gonna go out and you can't get back home because there is no load for you to get back home. There's so many things that's gonna be happening and you're gonna be back to square one. So I say, if you're gonna start this business, I would just say to go local. If there isn't any local work in your area, don't get into it. If there's no local work in your area, don't start it, because you're gonna go over the road and invest all this money because of all these influencers telling you to do this, do that. You got car and truck salesmen, hey, buy this truck, I'll get you started. Come on, at the end of the day, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna have a big car note and back to square one. If you're gonna start it, start local. There's a lot of companies you can do. There's a lot of, well, in my area, there's a lot of manufacturing. There's a lot of like raw material. There's a lot of places where you can actually go make money. You know, there's non-profit organizations. There's food banks. There's florists. There's meat markets. There's supermarket wholesalers. You know, talk to your, if you got a local big supermarket chain, you know, they need to get some stuff. They, you know, there's so many places. Small engine repair, scooter shops. This is so many. If you want to do dental, you know, there's dental laboratories that make teeth, and they need the teeth, you know, picked up and dropped off at the dentist. This is so much stuff. Manufacturing. There's so many places where you can actually go and find local work. If you want to go and work for a courier company, local courier company, do that. There's ways to make money without having to drive over the road and be away from everything, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get tired of being on the road. You're gonna get tired of being on the road, and you're gonna be, after 2 years max, you're gonna be back to square one. I mean, you're not gonna, you're gonna be away from your family. Your wife's gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it because you're gonna be on the road and your wife's at home and she's going out to the cookouts and the barbecues, and she's going to the beach, and you ain't gonna be with her. At the end of the day, you're gonna get tired. So if you're gonna get into this business, start local. Start local. If there's nothing local, don't get into it. Start something else. Don't have to start this business because people tell you the money is easy. Yes, the money is easy sometimes, but at the end of the day, sometimes there is no money. There's a lot of turnovers. You can lose your job like this. They can come in one day, hey, thank you for helping us out, but you're done. Because the same way these companies give work, they also lose work too, because of crappy drivers. Turnovers is crazy. They can't get good drivers, and they always end up losing contracts. And when they end up losing contracts, they're gonna let you go. They're gonna let you go. You know what I mean? They're gonna let you go. So if you have any questions like, in regards to insurance, a lot of people, they complain about the insurance being so high. The reason is because they just got their licenses at the age of 20, 19, and they want to start this business. Oh, I want to go and be an entrepreneur and start this business. And then they're 21, 22 years old. They go to the dealership. They get a van, a brand new van. They get a car note. You have to put full coverage on that van, and on top of that, it's full coverage. On top of that, it's commercial insurance, and on top of that, is that you're a rookie driver. You're gonna end up paying $1,500 a month for insurance. I know. You know why? Because I got a rookie driver on my policy. My youngest daughter, she's gonna be 19 years old. She got her license at 17. I have 6 vehicles in my household. Out of the 6 vehicles, 3 of them are vans and 3 of them are passenger cars. Okay, every single car, each one of, yeah, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 7 vehicles. I got 7 vehicles in my house. Out of the 7 vehicles, 4 of them are vans. One of them is a conversion van, which I used to travel. 3 of them are work vans. Okay, and I have 3 cars. This is one of them that I used to use this when I did pharmaceuticals because it was good in the snow. I got a Honda Fit, which my wife did when she did pharmaceuticals. She did lab work for me, and I have a Honda Civic that we also did lab work for them. I use all those cars. My son has one, my daughter has one, my other daughter has the other one, and my wife has the other one. And I drive whatever's available. But before I put my youngest daughter on, I was paying for all 7 vehicles. I think I was paying like $350, right? For all 7 vehicles, because I'm a licensed, I'm experienced driver, and I have no accidents, no tickets, right? So I was paying about $350 for 7 vehicles, or 6 vehicles, I forget. And then when I added my youngest daughter, they went up to like $600. It doubled. It's because she is a rookie driver, and I had to appoint her one specific car, and I actually appointed her 2 specific cars, because the insurance company is going to ask you which car is she going to drive, and I said she's going to drive this car and this car. Because if I put her in the most expensive car to drive, it would have been more. So, for example, my oldest daughter, she doesn't live with me. She pays like $350 or $300 a month for a crappy car, and for a beater, for a hoopty, and she's got basic coverages. So imagine if you go out and you buy yourself a $50,000 van, and you're 22, 23 years old, haven't been licensed for more than 6 years, you're gonna pay a crap load of insurance. And on top of that, you're gonna be paying commercial insurance. And on top of that, they may want you to get a liability insurance. So keep that in mind when you want to start, the cargo van business. And then at the end of the day, you paying so much insurance because you have to get a newer van, and the internet, everyone on social media is telling you to get a newer van. And my suggestion is start with a older van if you could, If you find a company that wants you to get a newer van, forget that company. If they're not paying you good money, forget that company, because the payment on the van is gonna be $800. Your insurance can, if you're a rookie, can easy peasy be another $1,000 a month. With everything they want, it can easily be $1,000 a month. Yeah, but you know the new vans, you know they got a 6-year or 3-year 60,000 mile or 5-year 60,000 mile warranty. Guess what? In this business, man, you're gonna go like this. The miles are gonna stack on so quick. Like for example, I got one van. I bought it with 115,000 miles. If you go to my videos, it's a van that I bought for $1,500. $1,500. That van is a beast, and I think it's got like 180. In 1 year, it got 70,000 miles in it. So if you go get a brand new van to do this type of work, and you're gonna be out of your warranty in like a year, because miles is money. You're not gonna get a van just to drive. You know, you want to make money, you gotta drive. You gotta drive. So that's why I'm saying if you're gonna get into this business, try to get a used van. And stay local, man. Don't get all caught up into this over the road stuff, because you will end up getting tired and going back to square one. Guarantee it. You'll be back square one if you want to go with that over the road stuff. You know what I mean? So if you're watching this, tap the screen, share it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Any questions, ask me anything you want. Before I head out, I gotta head out. I gotta meet one of my colleagues. He's gonna show me a condominium. Those of you that don't know, I'm also in real estate too. So if you got a real estate question, throw it at me too. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, you want to get into real estate, or you just got into real estate, ask me whatever you want. I'm an open book. I'm gonna tell you exactly how you know what to expect when it comes to real estate or the van business. Let me see. Where you watching? Where you guys watching from? Where are you guys watching from? Me, I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta do some work. One of my drivers is he's got an appointment tomorrow. I only have 2 drivers, by the way. But he's got an appointment tomorrow, so I'm gonna have him drop off the van tonight. Which I'm gonna use the van he uses tomorrow. I'm not using my van because after I'm done using the van, I gotta do some maintenance on it, check the oil, check the brakes and whatnot. You know, try to do a tire rotation, and that's the van that I just bought for $1,500. If you guys want to see the van, want me to make a live video on the van, I'll do it. I'll show you guys my $1,500 hoopty. It's made me in 1 year. It's probably made me profit somewhere like $35,000 maybe in a year. 35,000. That's the profit. That's after I paid my guy and paid for the fuel. If you guys have any questions, shoot. You know what I mean? Then I go here. So yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of stuff. I see, like I was seeing yesterday. I was like, and I sent the guy a message like, oh, now we got salesmen, car dealerships trying to, hey, buy the van, get into the cargo van business. Come on, man, really? Salesmen trying to get people into the cargo van business now? Car salesman, buy the van, buy the box truck. It come with a free paddock jack. You know, people don't know what to do and what to believe. I'll tell you. Like, you're gonna get into the box truck business. You got somewhere to park your truck. You got a mechanic? Do you have a tire guy? Do you have a brake guy? Do you even know how to change the oil in the truck? Do you know how much oil the truck even take? You know how much a toll on a truck costs? And I'm talking 24-foot box trucks with lift gates. I'm not talking semis. I'm not talking a tractor. I'm talking a box truck. You know how much a toll is? Hell of a lot of money. Repairs are a lot of money. And you got a dealer say, hey, buy the bus truck, leave here with a load. Come on. You ain't got nowhere to park it. You gonna park it in your neighborhood? There's probably an ordinance. You're gonna bother your neighbors when you start the truck in the morning. What if you're in a cold state? You gotta plug that sucker in with the gold plugs. Where you gonna plug it in? Like, there's a guy in my neighborhood got 2 box trucks parked. No, he got 2 tractors parked in front of his house. In the brand new construction neighborhood, he's got 2 tractors parked in front of his house. You know how ugly that looks? A brand new house with 2 tractors, and one of them looks like a hoopty. It's got all the oil spilling in the driveway. Because he decided to go into a trucker business, but he ain't got nowhere to park the truck. Either he ain't got nowhere to park the truck, or he can't afford to rent somewhere to park the truck. I got 3 vans, and I gotta put one van. I leave one van at the warehouse. The other van, one of my drivers keeps it. He uses it to go and to come back to work, and I keep the other one in my house. Imagine if I had 3 vans in my house. If I didn't have, if my drivers weren't taking the vans home, and I had nowhere to, and I could not park the van at the warehouse, because some warehouses don't let you park the vans there. So I would have to find somewhere to park the vans, like rent like parking spot. That would 3 vans. That would have been $300 a month. Lucky I take 1 van home. I leave 1 van at the warehouse, and the other van my driver takes it home. Imagine. But now you got a box truck. No mechanic, no knowledge on how to repair a truck, because someone told you to get into the trucking business. You want to get into the box truck business, work for somebody. My little brother, that's the way he did it. He worked for Home Delivery America. For those of you who may know what that is, that's one of the companies, that the national company from like 20 years ago that used to deliver for Sears. So him and my older brother actually worked for a guy who was the contractor, and they drove his truck. They did the work. They delivered the appliances. They made about $120 a day plus tips. You know, they worked for him for like a few months. Yada yada. You know, they got familiar with the truck because they had to do a pre-trip inspection. They got familiar with the breakdowns because they broke down. They got to meet the mechanics because they, you know, once they were in the truck, the mechanic will go do on-site repair. They met the mechanic, so they kind of knew their way around the truck. They knew they could park the truck at the warehouse, yada yada. Then they went out, and my youngest brother went and bought his first truck with his tax return. I remember it was $7,500. I think it was like a 1998 A International with the square fronts. Beautiful truck, great truck. He worked the truck, but he already knew. We're handy people. We're handy. We grew up in an era where we had to work on our own cars. So he was able to do his own oil. He was able to do his own brakes. He had a tire guy to come out. And if he wasn't able to figure out the brakes, because he figured out the brakes how to do them. And this is before YouTube, because he used to watch mechanics when they did them, the mobile mechanics, and he was able to park his truck at the warehouse. You know, the only thing he didn't have was a tow truck driver. A few times he had to pay a tow truck. It was $2,000 bringing the truck back home, because he was probably 80 miles from home. Tow that truck sucker back was like $3,000, $2,500, and you have to have the money right there. You know, I repair, boom. Then he had then I got involved, and we had 2 trucks, and the second truck blew a motor. We had to put a motor in. It was $10,000, and then we got a third truck. We had 3 trucks at one time, splitting them between IKEA and Home Delivery America. And then we went with the Urban Express. If you know what Urban Express is a company that they did IKEA, they did Jungle Gyms, they did we installed basketball hoops. They did what else did we deliver? We used to deliver Mitchell Gold, which is a high-end furniture store. And I'm talking about making money. None of this making what they make. They want you to make $350. We used to make in one truck easy make $900 to $1,000 a day. $900 a day easy. IKEA assemblies, you can make $900, $1,200 a day, easy. But you know, it was sometimes it was not sometimes, all the time, 2-man team, sometimes a 3-man team, and you had to work. And there was chargebacks. You want to get into business, into the trucking business, you got to remember chargebacks. They're gonna have chargebacks. If you break something, you scratch something, they're gonna charge you for it. They're gonna charge you full price, and we've dealt with that in the past. We delivered one washing machine. One of our drivers installed a washing machine. They didn't put the holes on correctly in the back, because you have to install. He ran a cycle, and he left the house. He didn't wait for the cycle to be over. He left the house. The client left the house, and when the client came back, the whole condo was flooded. $35,000 to fix that. We had to pay. You know, so we had to do it through agreement. So every settlement we had every week, Sears, well, not Sears, but Home Delivery America was taking money off our settlement to pay for that $35,000. It's either that or go through the insurance. But if you went through your insurance, they will cancel you. So another thing, you guys, if you guys use the insurance policy one time, you will be canceled. You will be canceled, and you'll be out of insurance. So just think about that for 1 second. You know what I mean? But if you guys, you know, feel like you want to get into a box truck business, work for somebody first. You know, don't figure out how much your insurance is going to be. You know, a lot of people, they want to be entrepreneurs. They don't want to work for anybody. You know, work for somebody. It's okay to work for somebody. You know, at the end of the day, you're gonna gain some experience. You know, don't turn 21 years old and buy a van. You're still a rookie driver, and you're gonna pay a lot of insurance. And at the end of the day, you're gonna be going around in circles trying to figure out what to do with the bus, with the van. You know, just because someone puts a van in your hands doesn't mean that you should start a van business. You shouldn't. Because this job is not, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good, sometimes you got work, sometimes you got no work. You know? You got no work. Like, this guy was supposed to call me. We've been texting. He's the regional manager for some company. I'm not going to mention the name of the company up here in the Northeast. And he's got some work available. I'm waiting for him to call me back. If he calls me back while I'm on the live, you guys are going to get a treat, because you guys are going to watch me talk to him to figure out what they want, and hopefully we can talk some pricing. And I know he wants a high top roof van, which I don't have a high top roof van. I've never had one. I've never needed one. I refuse to buy one because they're really, really expensive nowadays. But if the work is good, I'll probably get a 10-12 foot box truck with the single wheel, with the single axle in the back. So, you know, because it's gonna be, I'll prefer it to be in the Ford Econoline body. That's a lot better than a Ford Transit and a ProMaster, due to the fact that the engines are larger, so it takes a lot. Like, for example, the Ford Transit, they got the small, they're like 4-cylinder turbos, or a small 6-cylinder. They're like 3.2, something like that. If you put a lot of load into those vans, you know, they're gonna work harder, and the efficiency goes down a lot. Versus you putting the same load in a 4.6 or a 5.3 V8. The 4.6 is gonna work a lot less than the Ford Transit, and you end up burning more fuel. And then on top of that, but the range in the Ford Econoline is like 400 miles versus a range in a Transit like 300 miles. So you be filling up less. So there's a lot of reasons why I prefer the Ford Econoline, and one of the main reasons is because I'm able to repair it myself. I can do a lot of maintenance myself, which is it makes me save some money versus having to pay someone to do something. Because I've had so many of them. I know my way around the van pretty good. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Before I head out, I gotta head out. Let me see if this guy's busy and calling right now. I just texted him to see. This regional guy. Yeah, but me texting him, I sound desperate. But I like to get a job that runs 7 days a week. Not so that I have to work 7 days a week. That I got a couple people in mind that will be great. You know, I think they'll be great employees. So I want to see if I can get something and maybe buy another van or a box truck and have them work. You know, I took one of them out already. They love the work. I just don't have enough work for him right now, and I would like to pay him decent. I don't want to have to pay him crap, so I got him like on the back burner. So when I do find something, I'm gonna offer it to him. Right now, he currently works at AutoZone, I think. Either AutoZone at Vans. AutoZone. So I'm hoping it's 7 days a week. So I can give him maybe 4 days a week, 5 days a week, and then I'll work the other 2 days a week. I'll work 2 to 3 days a week, and he can work 4 to 5 days a week. He can make some money, and then I can make some money, and everybody's happy. You know, I need to add probably like another 30,000 to my salary a year. Cause I'm having a house built, by the way. Should be finished by the end of August. I'm closing on it September 3rd of this year. Oh, he did not text me back. Anyway, but I got another call. I scheduled a call for 12 o'clock on Monday. Some pharmaceutical company. I think they do lab specimens. And I googled the name of the company. Oh my god, they got bad reviews. I googled the guy who's supposed to call me. He's a very young guy. He's probably like not even 25 years old. And he's the regional manager for this company. Man, the guy is like mad young, and I think he should be a dispatcher for a company. So that's probably he got a shot to be a regional manager. Like, I've thought about applying for companies to be a regional manager, but there's no money in that. You make more money out here than there is. And they have a lot of stress. They got to deal with a bunch of drivers that don't know what they're doing. They got to deal with a bunch of bull crap. You know, I don't want to deal with all that stuff. I knew a couple of regional managers. I have one of them was actually, she's a really good friend of mine. She used to work for a company called Velocity. And now she works for the transportation company out here, and she drives a train. But it's a lot of, it's a stressful job to be a regional manager for a delivery company. But it's crazy. So let's see if he answers. Unless he thought today was Monday. Nah, he ain't answering. Yeah, whatever. But let me call one of my other colleagues here. You guys are working with me today. What's up, Bamboo? Good news? What's going on? No, not today, because I had a meeting today. You went? Business this morning. Yeah. Did you sell the condominium already? Hey, the guy that you recommended, referred to me, he hasn't sent me his email. You know, the in Massachusetts this past week was gonna change next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's changing this week.
The broker fee.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So what's it gonna be?
Tenants are not allowed to pay broker fees no more.
Eh?
Tenants do not pay broker fee.
Oh, really?
Nope. So I told him, and this guy, I don't think he wants to pay the fee. He offered me half, and I said no, I don't work for half. He gotta give me 1 month's rent. So no, after the 15th of August, because you know in Boston you gotta pay first, last, security, and then you gotta pay a broker fee. So if the rent's $3,000, you're gonna end up paying that times 4 is $12,000 to move in.
Exactly.
So the state did away with that. So it's like Rhode Island, you know. If the tenant wants to pay the agent for services, yeah, send him a contract, and I don't think he wants to pay it. Where did you meet this guy at?
I just met him in Boston here.
Where?
I met him in Boston 2 weeks
He gonna pay. He asked me for half. He told me he'll pay me half, and I said I won't do for half because it could be a lot of work. Like, you know, when I had the other listing in Hyde Park, you know how many times I had to go to Hyde Park, and I gotta drive an hour, and I'm not gonna be driving an hour. He's gonna pay me full amount, and he wants to rent it for $3,500. So he's gotta pay me the $3,500.
Is it up to? Is it full? No, I think it's usually half of the rent that broker take as free.
No, a month.
Okay.
I was. I told him I was listed, but I told him he did everything. He did send me everything about the apartment, and I let me see what he sent me. Yeah, he just didn't but I gotta call him. I'm gonna call him later.
Okay.
So you said you met him where?
I met him in Boston through somebody.
Oh, in Boston? Okay.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I told him I'll rent it for him, and like they pay.
I told him that you are multitasking. He's desperate. I said, look,
Yeah, but he sent rules through the state website, just so he doesn't think I'm like, you know, trying to pull his leg. Because I saw that on the MLS when I logged in. I was like, snap! I didn't know. I knew it was. I didn't know it was gonna happen this soon, and it starts in 2 weeks, and the tenant he has in there right now is moving September 1st.
Exactly. That's why it's under pressure.
So, like, and then on top of that, he's gotta paint the apartment again.
Oh yeah.
I hope he thinks he's not gonna rent it like that. He's gotta, you know, make it a little nice, you know. The apartment looks nice, but he sent me, but that's from 2 years ago.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I need to take a look at it.
Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
you know. Street. Did you list the other house, the other condo? Financing, right?
I'm waiting. They are still working on it.
Yeah.
I have another offer. I'm pending as we speak. A better offer. You know, they gave me the offer on Thursday, and I told them that this will give me time. If this week they don't give a full commitment, we just kick them off, and then I'll.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And did the first floor close already?
No, that's the one I'm talking about.
Which one closed? Second floor?
Second floor, yes.
So you got paid already?
Yeah, of course, a long time.
Ooh. Guy gonna rent.
Do that. See what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I'll call that guy. Guy.
Yeah, I'm talking to him. You're not taking his name. You don't know his name. Maybe I'm exchanging.
I think he told me. I didn't write it down. You think what's his name? Salum?
The Salum. I think it's SALLUM.
Yeah, he's from India, right?
No, it's from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh is India, Baba.
Oh yeah, no,
It's the same, bro. It's the same, bro. They don't like to pay.
Yeah, but nobody can. Are you the same as Mexican?
No, but back in that days, like,
I know.
you know, yeah, they don't like. They don't like. We'll see. Nah, don't talk to him. I'll call him later. Okay. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to one of my colleagues referred someone that needed to rent their apartment in the city of Boston. And the city of Boston, the state of Massachusetts just put a law in that tenants are no longer responsible for paying the broker fee, which is a good thing, because if you know Boston, like a 2-bedroom apartment can run you $3,000, and then on top of that you got to pay first month's rent, security deposit, last month's rent, and a broker fee. So you can easily pay $12,000 just to move in. Like, I've done apartments that they gotta pay like $21,000 before to move in, because the apartment's $5,000 and they gotta pay first, last, security deposit, plus a whole month's broker fee. So the state did away with that. So it was someone that he referred, and the law I thought was gonna change later in the year, but it's changing in 2 weeks. So I gotta let him know that he's responsible for my fee, which is 1 month rent, and as of right now it's like $34.50, because he wants $3,400 for the apartment. 3rd floor, walk up, 3-bedroom apartment in the city of Boston. Real estate out here is crazy. So, but anyway, so the guy texted me for the job. He's dealing with something, and he's gonna call me whenever he's done dealing with what he's dealing with. But yeah, but I will I'm gonna get off this video now, because I gotta go somewhere. When he calls me, I am gonna record it, and I will upload the conversation, maybe in a short or maybe in a video or whatnot. But and then we can go from there. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend.